Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it happens to be your very first time here. My name is Troy, and one thing that I've observed over the past couple years is that successful people tend to use the new year as a checkpoint to make sure that they're headed in the right direction towards their goals, while normal people tend to use it as a fresh start. Well, today I'm super excited to share with you the progress made in my dividend growth portfolio, not only in December, but in all of 2024, as well as what's in store for 2025. In today's video, I'll be sharing everything you'd possibly want to know, including my current portfolio value and how much money I was able to add to this portfolio in 2024, the huge changes made to the positions of this portfolio, how my stocks performed in December, 2024, and all time, how my portfolio stacks up versus the market over the short and longer terms, the massive amount of money invested in December and what I bought with it, the dividends received in December, looking at the month over month and year over year progress of those dividends, and then to wrap up the video, I'm going to check on my career dividends received, show how my very own dividend snowball is coming along, and outline what I have in store for you guys in 2025. Before we go any further, I really want to know how much you guys made in dividends for the month of December as well as all of 2024, so let me know that down in the comments below, and I'm going to share mine later in the video. But now let's go ahead and see how this portfolio grew in 2024. All right, and looking here at this chart, I've been sharing the same chart all year, so this is going to be really cool to see here at the end of the year. You guys can see back in January, the start of 2024, this portfolio had an account balance of $67,196.27. Concluding last month, the account balance was all the way up to $87,177.31, and actually concluding December, the account balance actually went down to $85,557.83. In total, the year-to-date growth for 2024 finished at $18,361.56, which was 27.33%. Our month-over-month growth was actually down $1,619.48, or 1.85%. In all of 2024, I actually added $10,000.08 plus $406.46 in credit card rewards from the Fidelity credit card that I have, equaling $10,406.54. And I'm going to uncover how much in dividends and interest I made in addition to that later in the video. As I've mentioned about 1,000 times already, it's important to note that $17,000 of this account balance is not invested, but instead held as cash as the wife and I's emergency fund. It's currently stored in SPAXX, collecting the current interest rate of 4.14%, which does continue to drop, but it's still higher than the historical average of about 2.67%, and this has been consistent for all of 2024. Next, I want to show you guys how much money has been added to this account to invest for January with this right here. So looking right here where it says available to trade, you guys can see that $17,920.58. Keep in mind, I just told you that $17,000 of that is untouchable. That's the wife and I's emergency fund. So we have $920.58 to spend for the month of January. Next, I've been hinting at big portfolio changes over the past few months, and I've finally pulled the trigger on those. So I want to share with you the current holdings in my portfolio with this right here. On December 11th, 2024, I finally pulled the trigger and sold out of 7 of my positions, which were AbbVie, APD, Illinois Toolworks, NextEra Energy, Pool Corporation, Starbucks, and ExxonMobil, while keeping Apple, Costco, Microsoft, and Visa, and adding a brand new position, well, to this portfolio anyway, of UPRO. Overall, I've learned that while there are a lot of good companies out there, I simply do not need to own them all, and with some of the holdings I did have, they offered more downside protection and less upside potential than I was looking for at this point in my journey. Also, of the companies that I did decide to keep, I feel overall stronger about the direction of these companies, and I wanted the amount of skin I had in them to reflect that, so selling and reallocating that money along with the gains help me do just that. From this point on, the whole goal of this portfolio is to treat it like an exclusive club and not just let any old company in, and lastly, but most importantly, outperform the market. With that being said, next I wanted to share with you all how the remaining stocks did in December, which will feed into how they're doing for me all time. First, let's work our way up from the worst performer to the best, beginning with my newest position, UPRO, which was down 8.81% for the month. And next up for the month of December, we actually had Costco that was down 5.52%. In third place for the month of December, we had Microsoft that was down 1.06%. In second place, we finally get into the green with Visa that was up 0.32%. And the best, most profitable position in my portfolio over the past month of December was actually Apple that was up 4.69%. Now, since 2024 is over, let's go ahead and see how these positions fared in 2024, again beginning with the worst performing holding, which was Microsoft, which was up 12.86%. Then we get into fourth place, which goes to Visa, that was up 21.45%. Third place goes to Apple, that was up 31.36%. Second place goes to Costco, which was up 39.83%. And first place is UPRO, that was up 63.53%. For reference, the S&P 500 was up 25.02%, the Dow was up 14.99%, and the Nasdaq was up 29.57% in 2024. In mentioning that, I don't want to get this mixed up as my all-time performance with these stocks, as this is just how these stocks that made up my portfolio performed in 2024. I'll share with you my actual performance sorted from worst to best right here. So again, this is all 5 of the positions I have in this account now, with UPR being my newest position. Of course, it's going to be at the top. So I currently have 64.576 shares with a cost basis total. So the amount of money I have invested into this stock being $5,952.14. In total, UPRO for me right now is down $228.13 or 3.84%. Next up, we have Microsoft, where I own 35.331 shares. I have a cost basis total. Again, the amount I have invested in Microsoft is now up to $13,392.26. In total, Microsoft is in the green for me by $1,499.75 or 11.19%. Next up is going to be Visa, where I have 47.851 shares or $13,392.16 invested. In total, Visa is in the green by $1,730.67, which is up 12.92%. Then we get into Costco, where I'm now up to 17.159 shares with $13,391.61 invested. In total, Costco is in the green by $2,330.66 or 17.40%. And rounding out my best performing stock all time for me is Apple, where I have 64.596 shares, which leads to $13,392.40 invested. In total, Apple is in the green by $2,783.73 or 20.78%. If you guys look down here at the bottom right of this screenshot, you can see that this portfolio is in the green by $8,116.68 or 13.64%. Keep in mind that with the ginormous changes I made in my portfolio, all the cost basis of all of my positions increased a lot because I put all that money to work right away into all these stocks that I really have high conviction on. So that's why the portfolio change made such a dent in my overall performance. Also, the month of December sucked for pretty much everybody, so that doesn't help either. Overall, I'm super happy that I was able to make the moves I did, as it allowed me to double and even triple down on the positions I do have for the future. Now, let me share with you my short and long-term performance of this portfolio with the old holdings included right here. So if you guys look right here at this 1 month return, as I just said, the month of December was really rough for me and probably everybody else out there. My money weighted return for this portfolio was down 2.95%, which if you look at the S&P 500, that was down 2.38%. The Dow Jones got crushed this month, was down 5.13%, and somehow the Nasdaq broke actually more than even. It was up 0.55%. I'm sure there was a couple holdings that held that up. Broadcom. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get into our year to date. Money weighted year to date return was 12.73% for my portfolio. S&P obviously crushed me in the last year, and in 2024 they were up 25.02. Dow Jones was up 14.99, and the Nasdaq was up 29.57. I spoke about those numbers a little bit earlier. But we're going to go to the 3-year performance, and this is what's interesting, and I've talked about this a couple times. My 3-year money weighted return, which directly applies to my investing style because I'm constantly putting money into the portfolio. Time weighted is basically lump sum investing, and I do dollar cost averaging. So in my case, money weighted best fits. I have a 12.24% annualized return in this portfolio. 3 years is the longest time I have in this portfolio. I think I'm a little bit over 4 years, but like the next increment I can share with you guys is 5, and I don't have anything for 5. So as soon as that's available, trust me, I'm going to show it. I'm not going to try to cherry pick data for you guys. I'm giving you guys what I have. So 12.24% is my annualized 3-year. If you look at the S&P 500, that's 8.94. Dow Jones is 7.56. NASDAQ is 8.13. As I've said in the past few recap videos, over the short term and in really hot markets, this portfolio was having a hard time keeping up. But over the longer term, the longest I have is 3 years to share, this portfolio is still outperforming all 3 indexes by a pretty good margin. And as I said, the changes I made in December were in an effort to enhance that even more in the future. Now, with this huge portfolio change, I had a ton of money to spend for this month, and I wanted to show you how I ended up splitting that up with this right here. When I sold out of all of my old positions, I ended up making money on all 7 positions positions for a profit of $4,063.58, which is obviously in addition to the money I originally invested in them to begin with. In total, that gave me $36,374.73 to spend in addition to the new money added to this account. Quickly going over that, I had Apple up here at the top where I added 30.508 shares, spending $7,608.39 at an average cost of $251.39, giving me an additional $30.51 in added forward income. Next, we get to Costco where I added 8.263 shares, spending $8,123.71 at an average cost of $972.26, giving me an additional $38.34 in added forward income. Then we get to Microsoft where I added 16.915 shares, spending $7,520.95 at an average cost of $442.16, giving me an additional $56.16 in added forward income. Then we get the UPRO, the brand new position that I started, where I bought 64.576 shares for $5,941.89 at an average cost of $93.47, bringing in a new $52.95 in added forward income. And lastly, we get the Visa where I added 25.767 shares, spending $8,110.64 at an average cost of $315.83 per share, giving me $60.81 in added forward income. Now with that added income, obviously I did lose a fair amount of income from selling, especially since all of the stocks sold were my higher yielders. In total, at the end of all these changes, I ended up with 91.007 fewer shares, spending just $930.85 in new money and losing $720.04 in added forward income from this move. As I said earlier, the goal in 2025 is going to be market outperformance and more skin in the game on my highest conviction stocks. Next, let's finally get to what you guys are all probably here for, the dividend. So in the month of December, it looks like I had 5 dividend payments and 1 interest payment. Kicking things off on December 2nd, Visa paid me $12.40 versus their previous payment of $9.84. This time last year, Visa was paying me $7.44, and the first ever payment from Visa was just 9 cents. In total, I've now received $73.08 in career dividends from Visa, which comes out to 2.1% of the total dividends received in this account, which has earned me a little over 0.28 shares for free via the drip. Next up, on December 10th, I received my last payment from ExxonMobil in the amount of $41.48. The previous time they paid me was $39.48. This time last year, ExxonMobil was paying me $35.85, and my very first ever payment from ExxonMobil was $1.28. In total, I've now received $394.77 in career dividends from ExxonMobil, which comes out to 11.37% of the total dividends received in this account, which has earned me nearly 3.5 shares for free via the drip. Then 2 days later, on December 12th, I received $15.29 from Microsoft. The previous time they paid me was $13.13. This time last year, Microsoft was paying me $10.97, and the first ever payment received from Microsoft was $2.54. In total, I've now received $101.44 in career dividends from Microsoft, which comes out to 2.92% of the total dividends received in this account, which has earned me 0.284 shares for free via the drip. Then on December 16th, I received my very last payment from NextEra Energy in the amount of $31.09. The last time they paid me, it was $30.06. This time last year, NextEra Energy was paying me $20.53, and the first ever payment from NextEra Energy resulted in $2.73. In total, I've now received $204.53 in career dividends from NextEra Energy, which comes out to 5.89% of the total dividends received in this account, which has earned me a little over 2 1/3 shares for free via the drip. Then on December 27th, my brand new position, UPRO, paid me $10.25, which totals just 0.3% of the total dividends received in this account and has already gotten me 0.115 shares for free via the drip. And finally, to conclude the month and to wrap up 2024, on December 31st, I received $85.80 from UPRO thanks to the extra cash I had from the sale of my other positions. The previous interest payment totaled $62.26. This time last year, I was getting $58.94, and my very first ever interest payment from SPAXX was a whopping 1 cent. In total, I've now received $1,179.58 in career interest from SPAXX, which comes out to 33.97% of the total income received in this account, which is then used the following month to add more shares of my high conviction stocks, so you'll love to see that. Now, to start the episode, I wanted to know what you guys made for the month and in 2024, and now we're going to find that out for me right here. So if you guys look down here towards the bottom right of this picture, you guys can see that concluding December, I received $196.31 in this account, which is up 46.8% versus last December. The whole quarter four, I received $505.89, which is up 55.5% versus last quarter four. This year in 2024, I concluded with $1,996.03, which is up 113.4% versus 2023. And my invested portfolio balance concluding 2024 finished at $67,637.25, which is up 40.6% versus 2024's starting balance. To save you guys on the math, I wanted to next quickly show you how much I made in dividends in this account all time and how my very own dividend snowball is picking up speed. So looking at this super simple chart, you can see that in this portfolio only, I'm now up to $3,471.99 in this portfolio, and I've also gained 14.767809 shares for free via the drip. Overall, my milestones, I'm creeping up on that $3,500 mark, which you love to see. And I've spoken a couple episodes back. I did have a goal of seeing if I could hit 15 drip shares. I had no idea if that was obtainable or not. Apparently not, but we're really close. We're at 14.76 shares for free. We did fall just short of that 15 drip shares I hoped for, but it should be coming in short order here in 2025. And for anyone new to the channel or new to dividend investing, what you're about to see is a visual representation of the famous dividend snowball, which for me is definitely continuing to pick up speed. With me just passing $3,400 in dividends this month, I'll only have updates to my buy 100 chart, so let's dive right in. What you'll see up here at the top is the amount of days it took me to make my first $100, followed by the time it took me to make my second $100, and so on. While this will not always drop from $100 to $100, over the long term, the trend will. From taking me 394 days to make the first $100 in this portfolio to the last two milestones reached this month, taking me just 11 and 21 days respectively, this lowers my average number of days between $100 bills from 51.4 days last month to under 50 days at 49.3 days to conclude 2024. As I have updates to the other charts, the 250s, 500s, and the thousands, I'll provide those updates as well. I personally think these charts are super motivating, and I don't see things like this being shared on other dividend channels, so we're going to go ahead and call this a Dividend Obsession exclusive. But since you're here and hopefully subscribed, feel free to steal them and track your own dividend snowball. Before I let you go, I wanted to quickly share with you the goals I have for these videos going forward in 2025. With the changes to this portfolio I outlined in this episode, I officially do not have any stocks that pay me in January, April, July, and October. So for 2025, I'll be breaking this video into two videos. One to track just the portfolio progress, detailing my buys and progress from month to month, and another one to track the dividends received and the progress there. Now, the exciting news for you guys will be twofold. First, more videos. Second, I'll be adding all of my portfolios into these videos, from this account to the wife and I's Roth IRAs and 401ks and even my HSA. On a month-to-month basis, I've been updating the numbers for all of these portfolios anyway, so I figured I might as well share them with you all anyway, as the wife and I continue to work towards not only $1 million net worth, but also the bigger goal of financial independence and an early retirement. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed all the information I shared with you guys in today's video, and I hope it can serve as motivation to the others out there to create your own growing source of completely passive income. And to end this video, please enjoy this small clip of my son, both saying like and subscribe, dividends, and even talking about his plans for his birthday weekend. Say like. Say and subscribe.
It's for free.
Say dividends.
Dividends.
It's your birthday tomorrow, buddy. Say happy birthday, Doc.
What did that?
You gotta say it in the microphone.
What did that?
Happy birthday, Dak. How old are you gonna be?
1.
No, you're already 1. You're gonna be 2?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're getting old.
Go gym.
You're gonna go to the gym?
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do for your birthday? And go to a game? Okay, Z?
Go games.
You go games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boo Rockets.
Boo Rockets. Good job. We play the Celtics.
Boo Rockets.
Boo Celtics. Yep. Say Boo Celtics.
Boo Rockets.
Yeah, good job. Go Thunder.
Go Thunder.
Yeah. Blue. Good job. And before you guys go, if you guys happen to be brand new to investing, but you guys just don't know where to get started, I made a brand new portfolio starting at $0 for my subscribers to follow along. It's completely free if you want to check it out. Check that out right here. But until next time,
See ya.
see ya.